What's up guys, Julian here, I'm back, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make Deeper Purpose and Detlef style tech house. As usual, you can get the full project file, samples, MIDI, presets, every single thing from this video is available on the top of the description. Definitely go grab that. If you guys enjoy these videos, it's a great way to support me as well as support yourselves making the best possible music. You know, you get a really solid template you can then go and make your own tracks out of that are going to sound professional and give you a huge leg up. Link is at the top of the description. Thank you so much for the support, guys. I don't make a whole lot off in these videos, but with these sample packs and different stuff like this, I'm able to keep bringing you guys new videos every single day. And yeah, let's dive in. So we're at 127 BPM, and the first thing that we have up here is actually going to be these hi-hats. So yeah, we're starting with the hi-hats here. You can see we've got 5 different layers of them. So we've got like our main one, which that's actually 3 layers on its own too. You can see we've got like this bright one, more of like a, and then another bright one. And when you put those 3 together, you get one really full hi-hat. And that's really, I think a lot of times when you hear like these tracks and you hear this main hi-hat that's on the upbeats, you wonder why is that bigger than say like this little background shaker. Well, that's how you do that. When you layer it, you can hear how that really like makes it just its own like very full thing. Then yeah, so then we have like these background ones like these. I also have these. So you can hear all the movement happening there between the different hi-hats. And then we have this one, like an acoustic hi-hat. So there's a lot of nuance going on there. And that's the thing with the hi-hats. You don't want to just have 1 or 2. You want to have a few that are really playing off of each other. Especially like how you have like these. Like that's like its own little groove there. And then we have the percussion. So this is kind of like those hi-hats where you can hear like, actually if I play it with the main hi-hat, you can kind of hear how this fits into the groove a little better. But you can see it's a lot of stuff. And this is, you know, when you hear a track and or you see a track and they're using like different sample pack loops and stuff, like this is all the stuff that's in those loops, right? Like it's just all this different little percussion that's all moving around itself in the background here. And this is creating movement in the track, and it's creating nuance that's really bringing it to life in terms of the groove. So you really got to make sure you have a lot of this stuff. Like it's just like with the hi-hats, like 1 or 2 isn't going to work. Like, you know, these types of tracks, I mean, really, besides like this vocal and hi-hat and synth here, this percussion really is the main thing that kind of makes this exciting, because other than that, it's just the hi-hats and the bass and the kick. So yeah, then we have our clap. Just a nice punchy clap. I have like some live percussion. See, this is with the turned off. And then with it on, you can hear having the live percussion just gives it a little bit more organic feel, really brings it to life. I also have this 808 tom, which kind of plays with these, so like. So you have these are all like really spaced out, so if I play those with the see, it's just like these little things. Like you have all that percussion that's like kind of constantly going, and then you just have these things that are just like oh. And yeah, then we have this little effect sound down here. Just a little bit of reverb on that. And then we have the kick, which is just this fat kick. It's like a 909 style kick. You know, you really don't want any processing on that. If it's a good kick, you can see you don't even need anything on the bus. Then we have our bass line. So it's a really simple bass line, right? It's only going to be 3 notes. You know, if you use too many notes, I think this is going to be... It's really more about creating like a solid bass wave than it is about creating like this melodic part, right? Like, I could go and maybe do like... Yeah, we could do all kinds of stuff like that. But it's like... See how with this one, the bass is a lot more steady? So that's why you really just want to keep it around a few notes that are very close together. And again, it's just going to make it simpler. And then so for the sound, this is made with 2 layers of operator. So we've got this one, which you can see is just 3 sine waves, just FMing each other a bit. I've got the second one down an octave. And then it's high passed. And this really just creates like some nice mid-range without being too in your face. And then this one is a square wave with a low pass filter on it. And that's the sub. And you put them together and you get one really fat bass. And then we have a compressor, which is just side channeling this to the kick. And then I have the kick and the bass in a group together, but there's no processing. And the reason why you put them in a group together still is because it allows you to kind of treat the low end as one thing. I think if you are leveling these separately, what's going to end up happening inevitably is you're going to have a little bit of, like, you'll turn your kick down and then you'll turn your bass down. And then next thing you know, one's going to be way too loud and one's going to be way too quiet and it's going to be a bit messy. This way you're kind of just treating the low end as one thing. And I think it's going to keep it a little bit cleaner. So then we have this vocal here. So what we're doing here... So this is something I noticed in a lot of these tracks, and it's a really cool way to give your vocal like some more life. So here's just a dry vocal. Get this body slamming, yeah. Which you can see already has a lot of texture to it, so we're not too worried about adding a bunch of effects and stuff. But then what's happening is get this body slamming, yeah. You can see that's very like one-dimensional. So then you put this echo on here, and the secret is you turn off the sync and you just have this like on milliseconds, and then we're just automating. It's like a very, very fast echo. That's how you get that metallic sound. It's like the really fast echo, and then we're just automating that, and you get these cool little like pitch warbles. And yeah, so it's an interesting way to really bring this to life and give it some character. And it's something I've noticed in a lot of these tracks, and it's one of those effects, like, if you don't really know what it is, you're probably really curious, probably, like, very confusing. But it's not that hard to do, you just gotta use echo. That's the only effect needed here, it's a very simple thing. But again, it adds a lot of life to that, and it kind of just, it's a good way to use, like, this one vocal that would be kind of simple on its own, and make it something more exciting in the track. And yeah, and then the last layer we have down here is this lead. So, what's happening here is it's just playing one note, just G sharp, that's the key we're in. Over here, it's just one note across 2 octaves as well. And yeah, so basically the way that this is working is it's kind of like this, like... So the way you do that is just pretty much inside of here. I think everybody wants to know, like, oh, is it an arpeggiator? You know, do you automate that? The problem with doing that, like, if you were going to automate an arpeggiator to do this, like, if you wanted to, you could just take, like, you know, just automate this, like, to go, like... You could do that. The problem with that, though, is it's not going to be synced up at the end. This way, you can have it go... And then over here, when it slows down, you can still put it in time. That See, like that. You wouldn't get that with an arpeggiator. So it's basically like that, the kind of like slowing down thing, and then here it's just got a little rhythm to it. And then over here, it's just a nice little pattern. This is all about also like that really good note placement, like in terms of where it sits in the groove. Like really take your time and play like, oh, would this sound better here or here, and see, because it's just one note. So you got to figure out like what is the factor that you're changing that's going to make this exciting, and it's the placement of the note. So for the sound, this is actually a pretty simple patch. It's just 2 saw waves here inside of wavetable. You can see though actually the second one is at +7. So if I turn that up more, you can hear it. But yeah, we turn that turn down. And then if you go into the matrix here, you can see that I actually have a little bit of an envelope on the pitch. So that's what makes it a bit punchier. See if I turn that off. See, you don't have that same level of punch. That's when you have it. And you want this to be a little bit percussive. Then I've just got a bit of echo and a bit of reverb. And then finally just a compressor sidechaining this to the kick. And that is going to be it for this one, guys. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full project file, samples, MIDI, presets, literally every single thing from this video is available at the top of the description. Definitely go grab that. It's just $5, but it's really going to help you to make your best possible tracks. I put so much time into making all of these project files and really making stuff that you guys can use to make great tracks and also learn from to make great tracks yourself in the future. So definitely go grab that. Thank you so much for all the support, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.